All right, now joining me is Anni Cyrus. Anni, welcome back to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Hi, how you doing?
I'm much better.
Well, I appreciate your joining us. I know you've been busy, and I called you today and I said, Anni, there's a couple news stories out there. One of them in particular, I said, can you research this for me? I'm going to go over to worldviewreport.com, worldviewreport.com. That's my aggregated news site, worldviewreport.com. And it's somewhere in here, Anni. Let's see, where is it? It's something to do with tons of these folks being dropped down into our country. I'll find it. It's on here somewhere. But it
You
was.
probably can find it easier looking at your sent emails.
Say that again.
If you look at your sent emails,
It's in there.
you sent links. So
Okay. Well, I thought I had it somewhere here, and it probably just got pushed down the page somewhere. But it was about. No, here it is. 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 Right. It was a dog. It would bite me. Secrecy shrouds Afghan refugees sent by U.S. to base in Kosovo. All right. Now I click on that. Brings you to the militarytimes.com. Okay. And then it wants me to get rid of ad blocker, but whatever. All right. So let's talk about this. Well, I sent this to you. I said, Anni, tell me all about this. And you went and researched it. And what did you find? Because I was shocked that they're talking about, oh, my word, just thousands upon thousands that are at this base. And I guess, what, are they coming to the U.S. next?
actually, Brannon, if you remember, 3 weeks ago when I was on with you, we did talk about this. We talked about that not only there are active child bride cases here in Wisconsin based, there is also two reports of those who are being held back outside of America to come in.
And it says here, I'll go back to the article, Logan, Washington AP. The U.S. is welcoming tens of thousands of Afghans airlifted out of Kabul, but has disclosed little publicity about a small group who remain overseas. Dozens who triggered potential security issues during security vetting have been sent to an American base in the Balkan nation of Kosovo. So that's interesting. Again, shocker. They have security problems because those who were brought into the airport were handpicked by the Taliban. Those got on the airplanes, handpicked by the Taliban. But they admit there's tens of thousands that have been airlifted out of there, and now they're holding these people back. What more can you tell us about this base in Kosovo? Who are these people, and what is likely to happen to them? Are they coming here too?
Actually, the interesting part is that, as it's mentioned on the article, it's a huge hush hush. It has been since day one. Not only the Kosovo, I think that's how you pronounce it,
Yeah.
but also the other two other places. It on the article, it does hint at Middle East, which is the Abu Dhabi area.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other group, and then there's another group in another country. Now, they claim they being Biden administration, but I have not been able to find a single evidence that any of these people who are still left behind, not those who were airlifted, not those who make it inside America, let's not get that confused, those who are left behind being held outside of America under American protection, I haven't found anything about them being any threats, any link back to Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Taliban or Hezbollah. However, what I did find out talking to a fellow human rights activist in Turkey was he said there are reports that majority of them actually are women and children, and it looks like they are about to be sent back to Afghanistan.
Now, why would they do that?
Well, here's why. The young men, the fighting age men who made it here,
Yes.
are a lot more useful for
Yes.
destruction of America.
Yes.
Women and children coming here, they will end up like me, a strong American loving freedom fighting woman.
So the women are going to get here and see you're not wearing a hijab, that you've assimilated, and you love liberty and freedom. And a lot of those women are going to join you, and certainly those kids are going to get raised here in America, and they're going to become Americanized, westernized. So better to send them back and send over here the young military-aged males who are here as jihadis. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly what I'm saying.
And by the way, there are different types of jihad, aren't there, Annie?
Yes, there are so many differences, but there are 4 major types of jihad.
What are they?
So one is jihad as we know it, meaning blow yourself up or drive your van through non-Muslim crowd or behead them. That's jihad, war jihad. Then there is political jihad. My perfect example of it is Hussein Obama. He made a perfect example for political jihad. Or you can say Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or Keith Ellison.
Right.
When you infiltrate the government of the non-Muslim country to turn it into Sharia-obeying government. The third one is known as civilization jihad, or known as hijrah, where you go from your country to another country that is not Islamic to help further the Islamization of that land to conquer it. The fourth one is known as financial jihad. Those who cannot do any of that, but they can spend their wealth, their money, to support jihad. For example, any Muslim who donated to Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib's campaign,
right,
they were doing their duty of jihad through financial jihad.
Wow. All right, so anything else you need to tell us about this story or any other stories that you've picked up since you last gave us a report?
Absolutely. I did email you a link to another article.
All right, let me go to my email and grab it. Okay, start telling me about it.
This is very important because people need to pay attention to the number of the cases of rape taking place by Afghan refugees that are already inside America. This one is in the state of Montana. I cannot for the love of me pronounce the name of the city, but the state is Montana.
Okay.
A 19-year-old Muslim Afghan who was transported there under our protection, evacuated from Afghanistan, has raped an 18-year-old girl in his hotel room provided by our tax money as shelter for him.
Mm-hmm.
But originally, when he was arrested, he claimed that he's just there as a tourist, until it came out that his documentation said he was transferred there on August 17th or 18th with the first or second group of Afghans being evacuated.
All right, here's the article if you want to show the screenshot. Afghan teen faces rape charge, is part of resettlement program in Missoula, Montana.
Missoula, that's how you pronounce it. It wasn't as hard as I thought. Yes.
The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services says an Afghan man arrested last week in Missoula is in the country as part of a federal resettlement program. And there's his name. Voila. He's got Mohammed in his name.
Oh, and Zabiullah and Muhammad in it.
What's he got in there? What else?
Allah.
Oh, look at that.
The first name is Zabiullah.
And tell me what that means.
Zabiullah is the someone trusted by Allah. Someone who Allah would trust. Wow. Zabiullah.
So he's got Allah and Muhammad both covered.
Yes. And by the way, he's 19. Again, the age we were talking about. So far, we have three Afghan men who were arrested and charged. Imagine the number that weren't arrested. Don't you think that should be alarming for Americans? In whatever came in, whatever short period of time, how suddenly rape is happening by Afghan refugees again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that news is nowhere near, like, mainstream media isn't even touching it. Now the governor...
He's claiming the woman seemed to like him and claims all sexual acts were consensual. To a man who just got here from Afghanistan, what could an 18-year-old American girl, without knowing it, harmlessly do that would make him think that he liked her? What could in his culture coming out of Afghanistan, what could a typical 18-year-old girl going about her daily life with no overtures, no flirting, not meaning to send any message, according to her, just being an 18-year-old American girl, what messages could she send to this guy from Afghanistan who's just gotten here that would be like, oh, she likes me and wants to have sex? What could she do? Because maybe you better warn some of the ladies in our audience that are Americans what their normal behavior is really saying to an Afghan. possibly.
I would use the term they love to use. If this teenage girl was woke, meaning, oh, you poor refugee, let me help you, let me teach you about this and that, you fit in, I accept you, that's enough signal for him to think, oh, it's a go.
So even the fact that she doesn't wear a hijab and doesn't cast her eyes downward, that's enough, right?
Well, here's the thing. I don't believe for a second what he's claiming. I don't. Let me tell you why I don't. I want to know, how is it that a 19-year-old Afghan refugee arrives in America? Remember, I was 18 when I arrived in America. Until about 5 years ago, if you even watch my early on videos, you're like, okay, I need subtitle. What? The English was broken. The accent was so thick you couldn't cut through it with a knife. How did he learn English to be fluent enough to talk to an American girl and go to motel room with her and get a green light from her, all in less than a month being in America? That is my main question.
That's a very good point. Very astute, Annie. That's why we bring her on. You're very good at this. All right. Anything else you should tell us before we let you go for tonight?
This one, Brannon, isn't about the Afghan refugees or Islamization. However, it's connected. I just finished a live streaming on my page, and I ask everyone to please go watch this. It is very important. I have come to discover today that there is a group of people known as MAP. M-A-P, MAP. It stands for Minor Attracted People. It's the newest addition to LGBTQM. M stands for MAP. Minor Attracted People, aka translated to pedophiles.
Yes.
They have created this new flag that they used for the month of Pride, and now they are using it as their profile pictures or icons or stickers. So I want all the parents to know, if you come across these flags or pictures on your social media or your kids' social media, please be aware. Their flag, excuse me, on my video, I put up the flag. I showed the flag. Actually, I can do it here too. Here, so this is how the flag looks like. The two blue stripes on top stands for the little boys they're attracted to. The bottom pink ones are for little girls they might be attracted to. The yellow stands for general childhood attraction or minor attraction. And the white in the middle stands for, please, this is what they said, their innocence and unwillingness to offend. That is the white part.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. What's the white stand for?
For their, being the MAP people, for their innocence and unwillingness to offend. What a joke. So I just wanted to make sure, because your audience is a lot bigger than mine, please, if you see this flag anywhere, be careful, report them, because as of right now in America, pedophilia is still a crime. Anyone with that flag is standing by pedophilia. Report them. If you see them in neighborhood, do something. Just please do something. These people are gaining too much momentum, and they are representing themselves with a flag now.
And don't forget,
where are we going?
As I pointed out in my books for years, including my book Grave Influence, in 1977, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, as an attorney for the ACLU, argued for lowering the sex age limit to age 12. You guys can go and find it yourself. Now, when you search online, they'll say, there are people out there that are claiming that Ruth Bader Ginsburg argued for lowering the sex age limit to 12. That is fake news. What they go on to say is, she didn't. She just wrote a legal brief. Okay. So they want to say that her writing the legal brief on behalf of the ACLU was the ACLU making this case, not Ruth Bader Ginsburg as the attorney that filed the case. Okay. If you go out there and look, you will see that Ruth Bader Ginsburg filed a case, wrote a paper on behalf of the ACLU about lowering the sex age limit to age 12. Maybe Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't really believe it. She was just doing that for them. I don't believe that. But that's how they want you to believe that story goes down and not mark it as fake news. And when you go read why they call it fake news, you realized, well, no, that wasn't really Ruth Bader Ginsburg's opinion. She was just arguing on behalf of the ACLU. Well, regardless, this has been going on for a long time, and it's all based on Alfred Kinsey, who I have a whole chapter on in my book, Grave Influence, who was for the systematic molestation of little children as young as 3 months of age and got taxpayer money to do it. And it became the basis for sex ed curriculum in America through Planned Parenthood and SECUS, the Sex Education Information Council of the U.S. Okay? And Alfred Kinsey was so gross and perverted that I wouldn't even put in my book what he was really up to, because I wanted high school kids to read my book and adults as well. And I didn't think that adults nor high school kids, much less myself, really wants to read about that stuff because it got that graphic. So I cleaned it up, but let me tell you, it's far worse than I put in the book because I just couldn't put some of this stuff in print. But when you went around watching all of this stuff like it's perfectly normal and the things that they're saying to kids today, you wonder, what is the genesis of this? Think Alfred Kinsey, who Hollywood's made into a hero. Now you see they're going to make it part of a victim coalition. These people who are attracted to minors, they're now their own little coalition. And I'm telling you, Annie, if we live long enough, we are going to see this completely legalized, just like all this other craziness in America. It's sad, but it's going to happen if this continues.
And you know what's the most interesting part? Let's draw a line here.
Oh, yeah.
A connection.
I know where you're going. Go.
There was also a guy who was a pedophile, extremely attracted to young girls as young as 6, named Mohammed.
I knew that's where you were going.
And the people who follow him call themselves Muslims. And we have a lot of them in America who will cheer on for MAP people, because the moment it becomes legal, me and you cannot fight for little girls in America anymore against the 4th or 3rd or 2nd wife of Muslims.
And didn't some of these grown men bring their little minor brides to America recently through the Afghan resettlement program?
Exactly. They want, when we said many years ago, you said it, I said it, Jamie Glazoff has said it, Dr. Bill Warner, Osama Daktok, they are not here to assimilate. They are here to cooperate with those who have the sick mind of them to turn our country into another lawless, godless land like my motherland.
Yep. All right. Annie's website is liveuptofreedom.com, right, Annie?
Yes. Liveuptofreedom.com is the website. Liveuptofreedom.com.
Liveuptofreedom.com. I hope you'll visit it. Check out Annie's work. She's a great reporter. As you can see, she knows it. She's lived it. And you speak, 3 languages? You can read 3 languages?
Technically 5, but very good 3.
Okay, technically 5. You're starting to sound like Melania Trump. Doesn't she know 5 languages, Logan? So Annie is...
Oh, she knows 7.
Oh, she does? Well, wow. All right. It's still very impressive, 5. She's a great reporter. She's a great researcher. But like I said, she knows most of this because she lived it, thrown in Sharia jail, sold as a child bride at 13, right? You were just a few days from 14, but you were 13 officially, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay. So she knows this, and you'll find out more about her at liveuptofreedom.com, liveuptofreedom.com. As always, Annie, thank you for being one of our broadcast partners, reporters, and associate producers here.
Of course, just before we go, I also want to encourage everybody, whichever platform you're on, Facebook, Parler, Instagram, Gitter, I think that's how you say it.
It is.
Look up Lindell TV. Find us, follow us. If you are on Twitter, however, our handle is Lindell TV Media. Find us. We are all over social media. We need your help to spread the message. So when these videos go up as a standalone, we can share it on social media and you grab it from our page and spread the message.
So you're saying on Twitter, it's Lindell TV Media.
Yes.
So if they want to follow us on Twitter, we do have a Twitter account for now, Lindell TV Media.
Yes, but everywhere else, we are Lindell TV. We're also on Telegram for those of you who use Telegram.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad you remind everybody about that because I can't keep up with all of it. That's what you do. And so thank you for doing all that for us.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thanks, Brannon.
Thank you. Anni Cyrus checking in. Her website again is liveuptofreedom.com.